Hey you guys, how's it going? This is Jeff. Today we're going to talk about the best place to live in Hawaii. So, obviously, that's a subjective question based on opinion, and you can't really um, come to a conclusion on that based on opinion, but I can give you some of the things to consider for you, respective to each individual location and island, as well as each town on each island. So we'll just go ahead and start out in Kauai. So Kauai, known as the Garden Isle, is the oldest of the islands, and it is the lushest because it's got more flora and fauna that have been developing for a longer period of time, as well as also being one of the rainiest places in all of the world, um, by the Nepali coast, up in the mountains around there by Waimea Canyon. So I've only been to Kauai once, but I do know that Princeville, Lahui, Honolulu, some of those areas are the more popular places for people to live. Kilauea. My opinion about Kauai is that it was one of the most affordable places to be. It's a smaller island, but it seemed to be fairly affordable. Um, I don't know why. It just seemed like things were just a little bit cheaper there. Um, the west side of the island is obviously where you're going to get the sunsets. Just bear in mind that the southwest and the northwest are not connected because there's a big mountain range right there in the middle, and there's no road that goes through there. So if you want to go from the Nepali Coast, Honolulu, to Russian Fort, say, you're going to have to drive all the way around the island. And even though it's a small island, it still does take some time because the roads are windy. So that's Kauai. The next island over is going to be Oahu. They call that the gathering place. It's like the heart of Hawaii. Um, some would say it's definitely close to being overpopulated. You throw in the fact that there's a high population, small sized island with the most tourists go to that island. I mean, you're talking of the 10 million people that come to the islands, half of those people go to Oahu. So, um, with the, it's crowded. It's really tough traffic. Now, all you guys are watching this saying, "Wow, that's crazy," because I heard Oahu is the best. Well, yeah, I mean it is the best if you need to have malls or you want little Tokyo or little New York in the middle of the Pacific. It's perfect. It's got some beautiful beaches. It's got a lot of white sand beaches and surfing on the North Shore in Haleiwa. You got Laniakea, Waimea Bay. You got Yokohama Bay over on the other side, and then Waikiki. And then if you go south of there and you come around the other side of the island, you're going to come into Lanikai, um, Kailua, Waimanalo, um, Makapu'u, those beaches there. Um, those are some very beautiful towns. Kailua. Hawaii News Now recently reported that the tourists are taking over. So just keep in mind that it's fairly overpopulated on Oahu, but it's got all the modern amenities that you could possibly want. Okay, so traffic and cost of living is extremely expensive on Oahu. Jobs are available because it's a financial commerce epicenter, but it's fairly expensive compared to Kauai and other places. But it's not as expensive as Maui. So Maui is like a mini California. So if you want California but more tropical, that's what Maui is. Also with the people, the not necessarily the local population, because the local population is pretty much the same all throughout the islands. They speak pidgin. They're into the aloha culture. They're very into the ohana. Ohana means family. That means nobody left behind. They really do take into consideration the family. You know, so Maui is one of those islands that is expensive though. A lot of resorts. It's more of the laid back resorts like the ones in Lahaina, Kihei, you know. Uh, yeah, I mean, Lahaina is where they're mostly at, that whole coastline right there, because what people like about it is you get the sunset, but you're looking at Molokai and you're looking at Lanai in between this like channel that just really kind of puts things into perspective about the islands. It's right there on Maui. Some people say that Maui is the way that Hawaii should be. I've really heard people say that. Maui's how Hawaii should be, whatever that means, but I guess it's as close to the romantic side of what Hawaii should be or could be that people really like. Jobs over there, they're not very high paying, but they exist. A lot of people just have money and they go there, or they work remotely or something like this. And but you know, it's got another mall, so it's got a great lifestyle there. If you like the organic life, up in Makawao, you know, Hana. If you can get up to Hana, I don't know very many people who get up to Hana though. The road to Hana is, I mean, I know people who've gone up there to visit, but I don't know many people that live up there, because it's a 2-hour drive from, at least 2.5-hour drive from Hana down to Wailuku. So, and Maui's still one of those places that has 1-lane roads to some of the major places on the island. And that's fairly rare because, you know, 2-lane roads or highways are pretty well developed, but the road to Hana is a 1-lane road and it's very windy. So, and I don't think they're going to change it anytime soon. And I think that's a good thing. Well, you know, I guess that's partial, you know, depends on how you look at it. So yeah, Maui is quite possibly the best. But then again, I said so is Oahu and so is Kauai. Okay, and now we're going to go to what I consider to be one of the best, the Big Island. The reason I live on the Big Island and chose the Big Island is because I was absolutely thrown back by the amount of opportunity for adventure that exists here. I mean, there is so much to do here that it's really hard to get bored. All you have to do is get in the car and go somewhere, and you're going to go somewhere that you haven't been. And I'm talking, I mean, it's going to take you about a year to explore all of the places, and that's like really getting out there and exploring, because to really explore it, you know, it might even take longer than that. So it's a pretty big island. We're talking active volcano lava, beautiful jungles, wild fruit, black sand, white sand, green sand. I mean, all these beaches, just wildlife encounters, marine, you know, occasional whale sharks, but mostly manta rays, dolphins, tiger sharks, turtles, octopus, all types of marine, you know, mammals here. Just surfing culture. I mean, it's all here. The Big Island is the one that's got all that just all in one. It's a big island too. So traffic can get a little bit iffy, but the thing about this island is they're kind of like learning from all the mistakes over on Oahu and other places, and they're really building highways here, which would make sense since it's the Big Island. So they're building 4-lane highways here, which makes it really interesting. But that's one of the reasons why one of the roads out here in Kona is clogged up, is because they're currently building it, but they're building it on island time. So it's taking them forever. I mean, really, they started that project a year and a half ago, and it just seems like they bulldoze it, flatten it, bulldoze it, flatten it, bulldoze it, flatten it. It's like, when are you guys just going to start paving it, you know? So I don't know why they haven't, but they have not. But yeah, cost of living, it can be really cheap here, actually. I mean, you can live for pretty cheap here on the Big Island, $500-700 a month, but you're not going to be living in like the beach or anything. You'll be, you know, if you go up into the Puna or into Hilo, you can live for fairly cheap over there. You can even get like a little jungle bungalow, a little jungle oasis for like $800 a month. I don't know where you're going to work. Maybe you have to drive 45 minutes to get to one of the towns, like Hilo or Kona, or one of the resorts. But hey, it's an island, so I mean, I don't know where you're living now, but you might have to drive pretty far. As far as the other islands, Lanai and Molokai, just keep in mind they're two different types of islands. Lanai would probably get really boring, and you got to have a lot of money, and you probably wouldn't want to live there for full time unless you have family there, because you'd probably get island fever. And Molokai is Hawaiian homestead land, so you probably should check into that. And Kialawe, you can't live there. Niihau, can't live there. And that's about it for the islands. So based on what I just told you right there, I know it's kind of an opinion, but I'll give you some other information about weather and you know, stuff like that, if that's a big deal. The rainiest island, according to this rainfall chart, is Kauai, followed by Oahu, and then the Big Island. Although on the Big Island, Hilo is one of the more rainy places in Hawaii. Looks like December is the rainiest season, or the rainy season. Looks like the rainy season starts in about November and goes all the way through till probably March in Kauai. Summertime is arid all across the islands. That's another thing. You can get, on every island, you can get desert climate, very arid, or you can get very tropical on pretty much every island. And so on the Big Island, Kona is very arid, Hilo is very wet, Waikoloa is very arid, Hamakua is very wet. On Oahu, like Kailua is a little bit more wet than Waikiki, because it's arid over in Waikiki area. If you look at the topography of the land without all the development, Kihei is very arid, where in Lahaina is, whereas Wailuku is a little bit more wet, and if you go up to Haiku or Hana, it's definitely wet. Same thing on Kauai. Okay, so anyways, I just wanted to make this video to put some things into perspective about the best place to live. Not necessarily my opinion, but some things to know when you're making your choice about where to research. Because at the end of the day, don't take these videos as a you know, a must-do advice. Just take it as one piece of the puzzle of information that you're putting together to get to making your determination about where is the best place for you. If jobs are really important, consider an island like Oahu really for a career. If you're coming here as kind of like get a little bit of a break and you want you know, a spiritual connection and just kind of get away from it all, Big Island, a lot of people go to Puna, but I mean, that's really extreme hippie life right over there. I mean, that's like really living off the land out in Puna and Pahoa and Kalapana. Okay, a little bit of that on Kauai and a little bit of that on Maui. over in Haiku and Makawao, but even in Hana, you'd basically be looking to do woofing. Okay, so anyway, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I do a lot of traveling. I'm talking about Hawaii now, but I'm going to be doing a lot more traveling. So I will see you guys later.